Hey guys, it is November 29th, Tuesday. I wanted to log on today and work on a Tell Me When video. I was going to make a guide today that goes over Tell Me When and weak ores a little bit, shows a little bit more of the differences, and also a few things with the profiles I put out there, just so that people have a better understanding of how to tweak them and modify some of the conditions I put in. Obviously, I can't do that right now because I can't get into the game, so I thought I'd take the time while I have here in the morning to just talk about a few things. And this video is going to be a little longer than normal, but just a few things that were on my mind and just the way that the game's been going, because it's been out now for a few months. Everybody's, by this point, hit 110. They've kind of seen the content. You understand the secrets of the expansion, whether it be how to get legendaries or your hidden appearances and all that. And I thought this would be a good moment just to kind of settle down and just talk about the good things about the expansion, also some of the bad things. And I wanted to start off, let's just get the legendary thing out of the way. The system sucks. It's just a bad system. It takes a lot of notes from Diablo, but it's missing the one thing that Diablo has over this legendary system, and that is bad luck protection. And I mean real bad luck protection. Diablo implemented two things since its inception, being the Blood Trader, which you have a shot at getting a random piece and sometimes a legendary, and also the Kunai's Cube, which very literally can re-roll legendaries for you. You can tear them apart and do things with. And the way the system works is that, for the most part, you would have to break down legendaries that you got that you don't want in order to be able to do these things. And I think that's a good thing. So the problem with WoW in the legendary system they have right now is that legendaries don't drop often enough, and there's not enough selection of them that you can't do the same sort of Kunai's Cube system where you break down a legendary and reforge it into a new one. And they also don't have a system put in place that allows you to get a piece of gear randomly. And the simplest way for them to implement something like that is to increase the drop rate of the curious coins and just make that vendor who's next to the bank let you pick a random piece. You can pick a helm, you can pick a ring, you can pick all these things. And if you open it and loot it, it'll be like, let's say an 835 epic piece. Sometimes that will Titan Forge or Warforge and things. But sometimes it'll be a legendary, And you get these coins from doing content. You get it from doing Mythic Pluses. You get it from doing dungeons. You get it from doing the raids every week. And even PvP, maybe you'll get a couple. And just make it so that by doing the content, there's a currency that gives you better luck protection. I'm surprised they haven't done something like that, because the way it's set up right now is the amount of content you have to do and the chance of you getting one, it's astronomical. Like, you have to do... I spent very literally 2 months doing nothing but Mythic Plus spamming, doing every single raid difficulty, doing PvP, and everything under the sun, and I only now just got a legendary. And unfortunately for me, it's the wrong one. But it's just, I don't know, I don't think it'd be possible for me to squeeze in any more time to doing things. And I think I'm playing an excessive amount in order to get this stuff done. And it doesn't feel rewarding when you play that much time and then you get what arguably is the wrong legendary. Because no matter how you face it, no matter what class you are, there is a wrong legendary. There's ones that you would prefer to have, and not getting those is the same thing as getting just a standard stat stick in Diablo that doesn't help your character or build at all. So I'm hoping that's something that Blizzard addresses, and I'm hoping it's something that they take seriously, because the feedback that they've been getting has been largely negative. I don't remember seeing a single post on any of the threads, whether it be Reddit, the forum, or even just on Twitter, that anyone was really thrilled about what they got. Very few people like the system, and there are a few people out there who actually got very lucky. There are people who they had less than a % chance to get legendaries and they still get it, or with this news about the luck protection being the cap being removed. The fact that people were able to get their 5th, 6th, or in some cases 7th legendary, even with that, it's wow, good luck, good on you. It's like there's nothing you can say about that. Anyway, but that's just one thing that I think the game needs to change. The next thing I think that the game has done both a little right and a little wrong is the world quest system. World quests are something that take time to do. I feel like the gear that you get from it is probably appropriate for what you're doing, although I do feel that there are a number of times where the gold and all there's not enough enticement to want to go do things. The garrison resources, the order hall resources, are not enticing, and the profession ones are not enticing. You pretty much just look for the AP and the loot. That's all you're looking for, because the rest of the stuff is just stuff that you would get by doing anything else anyway. So I think that there should be, they should make it so that beyond the cash, just make it so that there's some world quests there that just have a loot bag, that can potentially have pets, and it can potentially have mats in it for recipes, and hell, make it so that sometimes it'll have AP in it. Just make it so that there's a bit of a random thing where you're not just picking and choosing what you want to do. You should want to do the world quests that you see on the map on your character, and not just let them expire because they don't really interest you. I do like the system in general. I think that it's a step up from the daily quest grind, being that you can choose sort of your progression and which place you want to go. It's just much like the daily quests, a lot of the times the rewards aren't worth it, so you don't really feel like doing it. And the last thing that I think Blizzard has actually done very well is the artifact weapon. The way that it builds, the way that you get stronger with the relics and everything, I think that it was done quite well. The only thing I think can be changed on it is that the AP that you gain for your main spec, I think at least half of that should be given to your 2 other specs. I know that they want this expansion to go on for a full year, and they want it to be something that you sink a lot of time into. And realistically speaking, by the time you get to the 25 knowledge, you're going to be getting about 250k AP per token. So like 500,000 AP per Mythic Plus at least a 7 plus. If you're doing 10s or higher, it's even more. So you will be able to cap out your other weapons pretty quick. But it just sucks at the beginning of the expansion when you're playing a class that has multiple specs, and you can't, and let's say that, and they're doing some changes to 7.15, and let's say that they make a change that irreversibly changes the way that your 3 specs are balanced. Say that fire mages right now, they're getting a little nerfed, so frost becomes great. If you haven't been working on your frost weapon, well, you're behind, and how much behind depends on how much you play. And that's unfortunate, because that didn't used to be a thing. Obviously gear would play a part of that, but it was never a matter of you can't play a spec at least at 90% efficiency without certain things, and that's definitely how it is right now. Even more so now that people are I'm at my 35th point, and there's a bunch of people who are already like 37 to 38 in, and they're getting a DPS boost just from getting to that point. So, it all adds up in the long run. Anyway, it's just those are the things that I think in WoW right now. They've kind of taken the center of attention for a lot of people. The big thing obviously still is that legendary system, and I'm hoping that Blizzard has an answer for it. I hope that Blizzard puts something in that allows them to better handle how you get a legendary, and also make it easier for you to understand just exactly when you're going to get one, so that it's just so that you take the stress off. Did I get the right one? That needs to be taken away. That shouldn't even be something that's in the cards. You should be happy with anything you get in the game, and frankly, it's easier to be unhappy with what you see. But yeah, moving on for the next few videos, I'm going to be making a Tell Me When guide that talks about the differences between it and Tell Me in weak auras, and also how you can set up weak auras and Tell Me When for more specific things in the raid. Not so much about your class, but just broader things you can do with the add-ons to make it easier for you to do these raids. And I'm also going to be looking at patch 7.15 when that does come out, and making tweaks to each of the classes where they're needed and other things. As always, if you find any issues with the Tell Me When profiles that are out right now, please let me know. And if you have any comments about the legendary subject and everything about this expansion, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this expansion, how it's all gone for you. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video.